us. My name is Christoph Oosthuizen. I'm from the EPI, IBASA member. I'm also the chair of the Marketing and Communications Committee of IBASA, so wearing two hats in a way. But here we are today delivering a CPD event for us to learn. So let's jump into things, and I want to welcome Matt Clark. In fact, before I welcome Matt, can we just ask that everyone switch on their cameras, all the people in the room, so that we can see everyone is here. So those of you that are attending will not be able to switch on your camera, except if we ask you. We may do so at the end. There's Matt coming in. I've unmuted you, Matt, so you may say hi.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Looking so forward to sharing some incredible insights with you today and helping you move your business forward using LinkedIn. Woohoo!
Well, that's Artemis. So Linda, maybe you just want to say hi too. You can speak. Your camera is not on yet, Linda, so maybe you can switch your camera on. Remember, there's the button there on the left bottom. Linda, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm not sure. You're in the kind of twice in our room, so I'm not sure which one you are on, but maybe if you can switch on your camera, then we can see which one that is.
Okay, let me see on the phone.
We don't see you yet. So the video button is there on the left bottom. You just click it, and it will start play the video for us. It was on just now, so you should, yeah, there you are. Cool. So these are our two guests in the room today, and we'll hope to learn a lot from them. We'll kick off with Linda, and Linda's a business advisor herself.
Thank you.
And the question that I want to ask Linda is, sort of in the industry of serving the needs of small businesses and entrepreneurs, how do you use social media currently?
Okay, awesome. I don't know if Carl's going to put up my slides now, or do I just go through? The first thing I want to talk about is how crucial it is for you to engage with social media and to use it as a marketing strategy to grow your clientele and your customers. Okay, so I want to go through a few points just to highlight what it is. You got to be able to engage through the platforms that they are already on. So you want to use where your customers already are. That's the place where you want to connect with them. So if they're on Facebook, they're on LinkedIn, or they're on Twitter, that's where you want to sort of like engage. Also, something that's very critical is the content. Content is very crucial, which is the information that you are sending out to your clients. You want to be able to plan smart goals and be able to execute them. So they must be simple, they must be measurable, you must be able to reach them, and they must speak to your specific target market. Also, customer loyalty. You're able to build a loyal fan base through social media, in that you're able to interact and engage with your customers and keep them constantly engaged. Another thing you want to do is you want to delight your customers, because we do know that the customer is king. However, if you are not delighting your customers, they can quickly go through to the next sort of like supplier or product. So you want to send out industry-specific information and share in achievements of the client. This is also a very good time for you to be able to do this, because there's a lot of award ceremonies going down this time of the year. So you want to be able to engage with your customers and share in the achievements. You also want to be able to monitor and evaluate activities and progress on your social media activities, in that you're able to measure and see which activities give you more results, and you want to focus on those. Can we go on to the next slide? Another thing that I want to highlight that you do not want to do, in the previous slide, I showed you what it is that you are wanting to do, sharing versus overloading. You want to be able to share information that is relevant to your audience instead of just sending out information and posting for the sake of posting. You also want to be more customer-centric as opposed to egocentric. You want to focus on what it is that the customer wants. You want to post less about what it is that you do, and you want to post more of what the customer is interested in. I think this is also a very good time for you now. If you have any promotions that you have at the moment that you want to send out to your clients, that would be good. But also another good thing, like I said earlier on, if they have any achievements that they have been involved in. You want to highlight those. This is also a very good time for you to just sort of like send out information to thank your customers for supporting you throughout the year. You also maybe want to put out if you have, if you're going to be closing in the year, or as a business advisor, maybe you don't have closing periods, then maybe you want to just highlight those. And that would be sort of like some of the content that you can send out. You also want to plan as opposed to rushed content. Perfection does take time. So you want to plan out your social media activities. You can do that from now throughout the summer. And you sort of like want to know what it is that you want to send out to your customers beforehand. You want to involve versus demand. We know the saying that says, if you tell me something, I may forget. If you show me how to do it, I will definitely remember. And if you involve me, then I will understand. So you want to be able to understand what it is that your consumers want, and you want to be able to share what it is that is relevant to them. And then you want to teach as opposed to giving out. Sometimes we also use this time to send out a lot of specials and a lot of promotions that we have. But this is also a good time for you to be able to teach your clients as well. I know now most of the industry-specific trends are going to be coming out. So I would advise business advisors to look into your industry and try and research and see what are your trends that are coming out. So now you could engage and just maybe give out the first top five that you think your clients need to be aware of. And then in the new year, you can use the new year to sort of like give out a more detailed analysis of what it is that is going to be happening in 2019. We can go on to the next slide. Are we able to go on to the next slide? On the next slide, there I sort of like put out the platforms, the social media platforms that are currently best for you to engage. Facebook is the most popular sort of like a social media platform that you can use to engage with your clients. I use this to generate leads. I try to see where it is that my customers are based, and I can mine them from there, and I can also create brand awareness. I also do customer service through Facebook, and I also drive traffic. So you drive traffic if you may be having an event, or you want your customers to, you want to send out a call to action button for them. You want them to set up an appointment with you. You can use Facebook for that. LinkedIn is also very good.
Before you go to LinkedIn, let's take a minute on each of these and just get kind of like practical, sort of. So you are engaging as a business advisor in the marketplace. So is there,
yes,
when Facebook, so obviously you don't, or not, maybe not obvious, but you don't use your personal page. You've got a company profile for Facebook.
That's correct.
So just explain to us, without assuming, sort of that everyone understands the difference between a personal page and a company page.
Okay, absolutely. So you have to have a personal profile before you can have a business page to get onto Facebook. So then you want to separate the two, but they're also interlinked, because before people go to your website or anywhere else, they first Google you on your social media profiles.
So you want to. Where do you post these company things? On your personal page or on your company page, or on both?
On the company page. For instance, on the company page will be more formal, and then on my personal page, I would sort of like drive traffic towards, for instance, like this webinar today. On my personal page, I will sort of like drive my clients and my followers to actually go onto the link that they can sign on for the webinar. And then in my professional...
So what's the difference then with LinkedIn? How do you use LinkedIn differently? Sorry to rush you on the question.
Okay.
Let's stay practical.
All right. Yes. Well, then with LinkedIn, remember, like it says on the next slide, that 4 out of 5 members drive business decisions, and 39% of members are senior executives. So you find that you have a different audience on LinkedIn. Is more professional. It's more your executives on there. And then Facebook mostly will have more of your personal followers, and it kind of is a bit casual because LinkedIn is more formal. So you want to drive more traffic towards where it is that your customers are. So if most of your audience is on LinkedIn, then obviously you should use LinkedIn more. However, it is a good place for you to have presence as well, to sort of like drive your traffic towards your website, to drive your traffic towards your store, towards your product. So those are also good platforms for you to be on.
And then WhatsApp. I see you've got WhatsApp there too.
Also on LinkedIn, they said 28% of members are responsible for managing budgets. But however, I don't want to focus too much on LinkedIn because Matthew is in the room and he's going to be giving us a better insight on that. And also, I've got WhatsApp as well, which is your most preferred channel for consumers. And sometimes as a business advisor, you have times that there's ups and downs in the business. And it's very nice with WhatsApp because even if you don't have airtime and you have data, you're able to send messages out with the fastest of speed. You can send files, you can send videos, you can send voice notes. You're also able to broadcast. So you're able to group your audience or your clients. Let's say you want to group your suppliers in one place and you want to inform them, listen, these are maybe my banking details have changed. So you're able to specifically just speak to that audience. You can also create groups as well on WhatsApp. Let's say maybe if you're having an event or you're having a specific promotion or you want to give out a specific code for your customers to be able to access maybe when they come in store, you're able to give it out through such platforms. And then we have email marketing, which is also very good if you want to send out tutorials, just showing your clients how to do stuff, as well as company information. And just coming back to those industry-specific trends, maybe for 2019, it'll also be good for you to send out specific emails to your audience and your clients.
Yeah. Right. So I think what I get from you, Linda, is that, and by the way, I learned something very interesting about you today when I looked at your profile, and that's that you learned about customer service while being an air hostess, sort of. So
yes. You always land up, I always say that sometimes we go through different job descriptions, but you always take something away and it always assists you in your journey to sort of like improve yourself.
Yeah. So that connecting with people, and we can use the social media platforms too. So I think what you've given us is a real good overview of that. LinkedIn is just one of the tools, but what I take away from what you say is be where your customers are.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
So I hope that Matt is going to address a bit of that for us just now. But Lydia will still be with us throughout the webinar and as we go along in terms of questions. So by the way, as you are thinking of a question, please note that. Click the Q&A button and note that question for us. Let me just see. I don't see any questions yet. It can't be that there aren't any questions. So please, as you note something that you would like to know more about or a question that you have, you can note it there in the Q&A button. For the rest, feel free. I don't see much activity at the moment here in the chat, but let's see how that unfolds for us. I want to know though. So let's see. We're focusing on LinkedIn today. I'm going to launch a quick poll for us to look at, and you should be able to vote on that right now. The question is, how often do you update your page on LinkedIn? Because we are focusing on LinkedIn now as a tool, or post something to LinkedIn. Less than once a month, once per month, weekly, daily, or multiple times per day. So this will give us kind of like an indication of where we are in using the LinkedIn platform as a way for us to connect with people. So it looks like most of us, in fact more than half, are doing anything active on LinkedIn at the moment. We need to learn, hey Matt? I see you can't see. I can see. Less than once a month. More than half of us. Once per month, about 20%, and weekly, another 20%. So let's end that poll. That's a clear indication that there's lots of improvement. By the way, if you start at the low base, a little effort creates big results. So, Matt, is that true for LinkedIn too? Little effort creates big results. And we must unmute you. I'll do that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like any platform, and I always believe that, Linda's brought a good point. They're all very similar, and what these platforms allow you to do is have a one-to-many discussion. So as long as you are having the right discussion to the right people and your message is targeted directly to your ideal client, man, you can get incredible results with very little effort. I love that. My thought process is always, we want systems, we want automation. How can I do as much as possible with as little work as possible?
Yeah. So not that it's not a sign of laziness; it's a sign of being clever, I suppose. So
Systems,
automation, and that's the game that you play. Mostly is supporting people to create ways of showing up in the right places.
Yep.
So, and I know that you've developed a big system that we're going to talk about. I know that, by the way, stay to the end because Matt has got some interesting stuff to offer you on different levels to get access to him in a way that will help you to use LinkedIn much better. So don't jump off the webinar before we end. But Map, if I can, Map, sorry, Matt, not sure where that came from. Matt, if you can explain to us a bit more, this is kind of this is one of the this is this service. This is one of the things that you're kind of known for, not only here in South Africa, but you deal with lots of customers that are using LinkedIn as a way to position themselves in their professions. So how does that work for so we're business advisors, we're very specific, but maybe if you can talk generally, in terms of professionals, and explain to us a bit more, what we can do to optimize our LinkedIn page.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Most people, before they come to me, are in exactly the same boat. They've set up a LinkedIn profile, they've connected with friends and family and done nothing else with it since then, and then they come and start working with me and then they get these massive results. And then all of a sudden, people become LinkedIn Rainmakers and they get really excited about it. So should I just jump into the presentation and get everything going from there, Christoph? What do you think?
Please enlighten us.
Okay, cool stuff. Well, let me just ask you guys this. I'm going to share my screen. Tell me if you can see my screen. You can see it? Okay, great. Let me just ask you guys this, right? What if you had a strategy that was a competition crushing strategy that would generate 2 to 5 high value leads per day without paying for ads, that could lead to a 10%, 20%, 30%, 50% increase in profit in the next 30 days to 6 months? How would that look like, right? How would it change your business? How would it change your life? Now, have any of you ever felt like this, right? Like this marketing thing is just so overwhelming, right? There's so much to learn and implement. Running paid ads, content creation, websites, marketing funnels, technology and software. And even if you are learning it all, it's taking you away from what you should really be doing, which is working on your business, right? But now, how many of you are absolutely crushing it? And if you were, would you even need to be here, right? What if I could show you in the next 10 minutes a strategy that could not only get you in front of thousands of your ideal clients each month, but you also wouldn't have to be a marketing expert to consistently generate 2 to 5 high value leads per day without having to learn tech, without having to run ads, or without having to have fancy websites or marketing funnels. Now, just imagine for a second, right? Imagine having a system where you could reach out directly to your ideal client without going through the normal channels or going through a gatekeeper, and just deal directly with the ideal client, right? No matter how out of reach you think they are or where in the world they are. Now, it doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you're starting over or if you're already successful and you're already doing some of these things, right? What if I could help you make more money doing anything that you've ever done, right? Make more money than you've ever made doing anything that you've ever done, and I can show you how to do it faster. There we go. And I could show you how to do it faster than anything you've ever tried, have done before, or are doing right now. I'm muted. Okay. Just imagine the time you'd be able to buy back in your life. How much more wealth you'd be able to create. You'd literally just have more money. What would you do with the extra time and the extra money you'd have, right? So we call this the LinkedIn Rainmaker system. It is the business owner's guide to consistently generating high value leads in 30 days or less without going through a gatekeeper. This system is designed to take you from being a LinkedIn wanderer to becoming a LinkedIn Rainmaker. Now, because of the time, I'm going to share the top 3 steps and the top 3 things that you can do right now to start becoming a LinkedIn Rainmaker. So step 1, I hope you've got your pens and papers out and you're getting ready for this. I shared this with over 2,500 businesses in LA 3 weeks ago, and I shared the stage with some A-list celebrities and millionaires and billionaires, and people took notes, and this is powerful, powerful stuff. So I hope you guys are taking notes because you're going to implement this immediately. So the first thing is to get absolutely laser focused, to stop focusing on everybody and start focusing on the one, right? Whenever I talk to people and I ask them, who's your ideal client? They tell me, well, anyone that can afford my services. Okay, or any business out there, or any small business or medium business or large business, but that's just not true for you, right? Here's the thing. If we're going on LinkedIn and we're using LinkedIn as a platform to generate business and to generate leads, they've got specific search criteria. So you can't go and type in there anything and anyone, small business, right? Those search criteria don't exist. And if you're trying to do that on Facebook, and if any of you are running paid ads on Facebook at the moment, you'll notice that trying to put in those broad criteria doesn't get you the results that you're trying to achieve. And we run lots of Facebook ads. We love all of these platforms. We utilize all of them. So the more focused you are, the better it works. So what do we mean by this? Well, here's what you need to choose. Here's the minimum basic criteria that you need to choose. What industry are they in? Now, I know a lot of the time as business advisors, people tell me, and we work with a lot of business advisors in all different kinds of industries. You know, they tell me small businesses. Okay, well, my question to you is, do you work better with people in certain industries? Have you got better results with people in certain industries? And do you want to work with people who don't have money? Right? How many of you right now love working with people who can't afford to pay you? Right? I absolutely hate it. Okay, and I just don't do it. Right? And the reason being is because you haven't got that ideal client clearly defined. So what industry are they in? What is their job title? You know, are you dealing with the business owner? Are you dealing with the HR director? Are you dealing with the finance director? Are you dealing with the ops manager? Who is that person? Where are they in that industry? Okay. Now, as business advisors, I'm going to take a shot in the dark here based on what I've had before, is that you want to deal with the business owners. You want to deal with the decision makers. And this is the place to do it. So you've got to get that title right. Then you want to focus on their location. Well, you know, if your business can go anywhere, 100%, and that's great. Start with one place and then move over to the next places, right? So if you can focus in the whole of South Africa or Europe or US or whatever, choose one place. Choose Johannesburg or choose Cape Town or choose London or choose Austin, Texas. Choose one place and then expand from there. Okay. And then company headcount. So the relevance of this is if you're looking for those larger organizations, now you can't target on LinkedIn or any platform, small, medium, large organization. You can't target privately owned, well, I suppose you can, privately owned or government organizations, but even then you don't know how big they are. So if you're looking for those larger organizations, those more established businesses, the company headcount is important. Maybe you only want to look for people who've got between 10 and 500 employees. That's your sweet spot, okay? Get clear on that and write all of that stuff down. Now, let me give you an example of getting laser focused. This is one of our clients, Erasmus. We've been working with him for a while. He's also our accountant as well, so we know his business intricately. He knows our business intricately. But here's the thing, right? He's got to focus as a business advisor, focusing on people that have got already established companies that are doing millions of rands in turnover, and he helps them save millions in taxes in 90 days with proven tax strategies. But if you take a look here, he didn't say helping companies. He said privately owned group of companies. Okay, it's very specific. So now when he goes out and connects with these owners and CEOs and MDs and chair people of these privately owned groups of companies, it says it directly in his title. Okay, people connect with him more often. He doesn't need 20 businesses to do it. He needs one business. He needs 4 businesses in a year to make a ton of money. Okay, but I want to show you the more focused you get, the more relevant this is going to be. So don't try and say small business or medium business or large businesses. You want to go down into privately owned groups of companies, right? I help medium-sized construction organizations. Right? Get that specific. You can always expand at a later stage. Step 2 is what we call your pickup line. Okay. So stop being cheesy and start being irresistible. What do I mean by this? Well, stop saying that, right, I'm CEO of ABC Consulting. No one cares, right? No one cares the name of the company that you have or what position you hold in the company. The only thing that they care about is, can you help me solve my problem that I'm dealing with right now? Because isn't that what business is about anyways, is solving problems? The more focused you are to your ideal client, the better results you're going to get. Okay? So here is the formula. SA multiplied by C plus M plus T minus P. That is your specific avatar, your ideal client, your currency multiplied by your currency, your metric and your timeline, minus the problem that you take away from them. So what is the currency? The currency is the result that they're going to get. Okay, so is it more leads? Is it more revenue? Is it savings on tax? Whatever that is. Then you need a metric and a timeline, a percentage and an amount of days, months, years, whatever that looks like, and then take away the biggest problem. That is your pickup line. You need to focus on, who do you serve, right? What result can they expect by getting with you? You need to be specific on that result. If you're a business advisor and you're going to help somebody grow their business by 20% in the next 3 months, that's what you need to put in there. Okay? Be specific. You need to have that metric in the timeline. And then what pain do you take away? So here's how you pull it together. I help whoever your ideal client is achieve the results and the timeline through whatever system or methodology that you have. So as an example, mine is, I help business owners generate 2 to 5 high quality leads per day from LinkedIn without paying for ads. Okay? Clean, simple, to the point, and it's super sexy. Right? How many of you would like to do that? Right? So let me give you a case study of a business advisor that we worked with in okay, so you can see what he does, right? We created a book called Process Improvement, Increase Your Manufacturing Line Productivity by 21% in the next 30 days. So who does he work with? Manufacturing companies with production lines. What does he help them do? 21% increase in line productivity in the next 30 days. Look at his pickup line. I assist managers and team leaders to increase staff engagement and productivity using value stream mapping. What happens is, he owns a consulting company. He had a LinkedIn profile and he never used it. We used the structure, used one chapter of his digital book and sent it out to specifically targeted clients. The result was that we created 5 appointments with his ideal clients. He signed one deal for 200,000 Rand a month for 12 months, which was 2.4 million Rand. Okay. And this happened in the space of 4 weeks. Now, let me ask you guys a question right now. How many of you would dedicate this time to generate 5 high value leads that want your product and service to sign a deal like this? I will do this every single day, no problem. Okay. And this is a business advisor. Then the third step, okay, is your LinkedIn makeover, where we need to go. And Linda spoke about this so nicely. I thought, Linda, sheesh, you looked at my slides before I put them out there, right? Is how to go from an egocentric profile to a client-centric sales page. What do I mean by this? Stop focusing on yourself, start focusing on your client. No one cares about your achievements and your degrees and your diplomas. No one cares about that. The only thing they care about is, can you help me solve my problems that I'm facing in my business? What are the results I'm going to get and how fast can I get them? Okay. If you are not conveying that message inside your LinkedIn profile, you're missing out on a massive opportunity. In South Africa, there are almost 6 million people on LinkedIn alone, just in South Africa, right? Do you think your target market is going to be there? Absolutely, right? But if you're not talking to them, then, it's not going to be exciting for them. So let me give you an example. Egocentric profile. No image in the background, picture of her, managing director of propaganda. What does that even mean? Who is propaganda? What do they do? We've got no idea whatsoever. And managing director. So what? Many of us are managing directors in our own business. Does it give us elevated status? Does it give us 10 million Rand in our bank account? Does it allow us to fly private jets? No. It's a title. No one cares about titles. The only thing they care about is, can you help me solve the problem? Right? So even under here, we've got entrepreneurial, business savvy, very driven. Laura is proud to have helped build propaganda. Laura is responsible for owning. She specializes in, no one cares about that. Right? It doesn't help us solve any problems. Now, obviously, I've got to show you mine, okay? Because if I didn't, then you'd say that I don't do what I say, right? So I actually changed my LinkedIn profile here to suit a very specific need for my talk in the US. But normally my profile says, I help business owners get 2 to 5 high quality leads per day from LinkedIn without paying for ads. Okay. The banner tells people exactly what we help them do. There's a professional image up there. Right? Don't have an image with you of your holding your cat or on the beach or something like that, you know, because people with professional profile pictures get 7 times more views and messages, right? Present yourselves professionally, your business advisors. Okay. And you can see from the people that I've worked with that have gone and come and done my courses and come and worked with me, how professional their profiles look, and the results show. Okay. We've had people change their profiles and use the system that we've created, the LinkedIn Rainmaker system, and create double the amount of leads. Okay. But what's more impressive is that they closed 4 times more amount of deals. They increased their closing rates by 4 times by being very specific to their ideal clients. And he went, the particular guy I'm talking about said he was going to focus on service-based businesses. He went to IT professionals. And that slight change changed everything for him. Okay? So I've shared with you 3 secrets. I mean, I've only had 15 minutes. There's obviously, this is there's a much bigger picture. We've touched on the first step, which is the build phase of touching on your ideal client, touching on your pickup line, and touching on your LinkedIn makeover. There is so much more where we show you how to go from being a LinkedIn wanderer to becoming a LinkedIn rainmaker. Where there's 3 specific steps: build, educate, and promote. In the build phase, we show you how to go from being invisible to your ideal client to being completely irresistible. In the educate phase, we show you how to go from being influenced to becoming influential. And in the promote phase, we show you how to take your business from being experimental to becoming completely predictable, where you're generating 2 to 5 high quality leads per day without paying for ads and without going through a gatekeeper. Now, Christoph, do you want me to share how people can, if they want to take things to the next level?
Hold on with that. So I'm sure the questions that are not being noted. In fact, I saw some questions in the chat. So please put your questions in the Q&A so that we know that we need to focus on that. If you have questions, I have one. I look at your profile, Matt. I saw that your the LinkedIn button on your profile is golden and mine is blue. Why is that?
I've got a paid version.
So what is the difference between being a paid user and a pleb like myself?
Oh, absolutely. So if you're using LinkedIn, if you want to generate leads on LinkedIn, okay, you need to go over to a paid version. And the reason being is that on the free version, it'll give you some traction, but you can only connect with 30 people a month. Okay. And that's not guaranteed that every single one of those 30 people will even accept your invites. Okay. So, I mean, you're going to pay anywhere between 600 and 1,000 Rand a month. I would recommend the Sales Navigator for 1,000 Rand a month. You get 30 days free to play around with it anyways, and you can go and super target leads. And we show you guys how to do all of this inside the LinkedIn Rainmaker system as well. But you're very limited, 30 connections a month is nothing. If you're looking to grow your business and you send out 30 and we typically see a 10% connection rate, which means that if you're connecting with 30 people a month, you'll get 3 connections at that time, which is nothing. You really want to be focusing on 30 connections a day, 30 connection requests a day. And, that brings you to 1,000 connection requests a month. You get a 10% connection rate on average. We've seen a lot higher as well. They'll bring 300 new connections a month. And out of that, you should get anywhere between, you should get about 100 positive engagements, anywhere between 50 and 100 positive engagements on that.
Okay, cool. So, Carl, maybe we can stop this, or you've got the screen share under control.
Can we stop it? Yeah, no problem.
So just stop it for a moment. Then we change the mode a bit here. So let's ask people again, I see this, Jason has got a question and so on coming in. So others, please add your questions. I'm going to ask another question to the attendees today. I'm going to ask, how often you actually then search? How often do you use LinkedIn to search for connections? Not post something or update your page or anything like that. How often do you use it for search? Never. I'm afraid to kind of see if there's any there. There are some. Once or twice a week. Once or twice a month. About once a week, a few times a week, or every day. So as it goes now, there's no one every day and no one a few times a week. One is voting a few times a week. Most is once or twice a month. So we're also not, we're not posting and we're not using LinkedIn as a platform to identify people to connect with. So I think there's lots of work for us to be doing here, Matt.
Yep.
Let's see what you're going to offer us at the end of it, so that we can mine your mind on how to do it. But what I hear you say is there's kind of two elements to it. The one is, first, make sure your profile and the way that you show up is designed correctly so that you can connect with the right people.
Yes.
And you've had 3 points there for us. There may be more, but 3 really powerful ones. And then the second is, think now how you're going to use LinkedIn as a strategic tool, and their subscription base becomes a option for you to actually use it more effectively. But you can still, without subscription, have a better designed page. So perhaps the space that we have here, that could be a focus. Yeah, and I think we are going to do a test, are we? Are we going to do Andre's page?
Yep.
Did we say?
Yep.
Did we say so? We're going to use Andre's page. I'm going to end the poll, by the way. We've got 52% of people once or twice a month, and a good quarter never. So, sort of lots to learn. And there you'll be able to see the results too yourselves. But how are we going to spend the rest of our time apart from Q&A? We're going to do a practical example. Are we?
Yep. We're absolutely going to do a practical
Andre,
example.
Can I bring you in? You'll have to show us your camera.
Hey, Christoph.
So welcome, Andre. You weren't here when we started off. Just let me just ask you to start your video, and we can see you too. There you are.
Yeah, great. Thank you, sir.
So by way of introduction, for those Ibasa members that don't know yet, Andre stepped into a really important role for the organization going into the next phase of its development, in that as being MD. That's correct, Andre?
That's correct.
Yeah. So
quite an exciting, nervous breaking, but it's great feeling. It's great to be here today, Christoph. I'm looking forward to be working with you guys very, very closely, not only to you, but to every single member. And the prayer is that we're going to grow this Ibasa, not only the organization, but the members.
Yeah.
I
So towards the end of the webinar, we will have a bit more time to speak about Ibasa and plans ahead and so on. But let's stay focused on LinkedIn for now. So, Matt, how are we going to do it? Are you going to share Andre's page for us? And can you find Andre de Prier on your screen?
I had a bit of, I had it open and I see that it's closed. I'm just trying to find this thing again quickly. There we go.
Thanks, Andre, for being brave. It's not easy to
very brave.
As it's case.
Very brave.
We're just going to beat you up a little bit here, Andre, and then fix it.
It's actually a frightening feeling.
No, but I love it. Thanks for doing this, because it's always, it's always great. And I was saying to Lesego yesterday as well, is, even as teachers ourselves, you can't be a great teacher unless you're a great student. And we're constantly learning from people too. We've got coaches, we've got mentors, people who've done things that we're striving to achieve, and you can always make it better. So thank you for doing this, and let's jump into this so I can show you, what we've got, where you're at right now, and how we can actually fix this thing. Okay. So the first thing that I take a look at is that there's no banner right on the top. You've got a blank image here, right? What you need to have here is a professional image, and you can use a tool like canva.com, which is a free tool that you can go and get a banner designed. Okay. You can do it yourself. It literally takes like 5 minutes. Okay. Your photo is fantastic. So professional photo there. Then we've got Andre de Prier, MBA, PhD. That's fine. That's your name. But here is this stuff here. Okay. So this is essentially needs to be your pickup line. All right. This is prime real estate that is being wasted at the moment. So at the moment, you've got MD and founder at Sikwa Pro. You've got accredited SME consultant, ASMEC, certified business advisor, CBA, LSS, black belt. The problem is that while it sounds cool, how does it help me? How does it tell me what problems you help me solve?
Nothing at all.
Okay. So what we need to have is, who is the ideal client? What problems do you help them solve? And we need a result, so a metric and a timeline. And also, what problem do you take away? Okay. So who is your ideal client?
So we're speaking here as a business advisor in the business advising context, I think.
I think right? from a business, okay, my approach would be slightly different, not always the small, but more to the medium and large companies.
Okay. And in what industry? What industry is your best that you get the best results with?
Okay, I love the cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity. Okay, perfect. What results do you help them get?
To get this into, or cybersecurity, to make it, or the currently I'm looking at the GDPR, process engineering, data. So I look at business process where we have to re-engineer, but also where the data is being stored.
Okay. So business process and where data is being stored. Okay. Now, what is the end result of going through the business processes and where data is being stored?
After this, you take it to the data security side itself. So you have to identify your process where information is being used, or the personal information is used. Then you go into what you do, how do you protect, and then the protection itself. So
what is the end result of that?
The end result will be secure data.
Okay, so what does that mean for them?
It means that people can't get to the data to steal it. Hackers can't get there.
Okay, so do you help them prevent this? Is this a preventative measure?
It's preventative measure. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So I help cybersecurity organizations. So you work specifically with the cybersecurity organizations, right?
That's correct.
You help them put their processes together so that they can help their clients.
Okay. It's basically you work with cyber companies, but you can do it for any company. It is for any, from large to small. It is just.
I understand that. What I'm getting to here, and this is the biggest thing for every single person on this call here. Okay, do you see how long it's taking to actually explain what he does?
Exactly.
All right? And the reason that it's like that is because you haven't got this clearly defined. Right? I want to know, as the business owner, if I'm a cybersecurity organization, how are you going to help me? What results am I going to get? You've told me the process. You've said, okay, we're going to figure out where the data is being stored, that hackers can't get to steal, it's prevention. We're going to look at the business process. But what is actually the end result that I'm going to get? Are you going to save me money? Are you going to prevent cyber losses? And how much? And in what time frame? How long is this going to take?
So Matt, that sentence that you gave us, I help, and you had a line, sort of to fill in the ideal client, achieve, sort of the problems that you solve through the method and system, sort of this is what we're getting at here. This is what you're aiming for us to, that sentence. So just below our profile picture, have that line rather than all our pedigree of our qualifications and so on.
Exactly. So I'll go through this again. So Andre, now you've got something to think about. Okay. And for everyone that's on the call, you've got this to think about. So then if we go into the, and this is a great one of an egocentric profile. And once again, Andre, like, don't feel bad. None of us have been to LinkedIn school and have learned this stuff or been taught any of this stuff before. Okay. I learned this exactly the way I'm teaching you now is exactly how I learned it too. Okay. So don't feel too bad. We've just didn't know about it, right? You can't be beaten up about something you didn't know about. Well, I'm kind of doing it a little bit here, right? So in the profile over here, everything is focused on you, okay? And whenever I look at writing copy, if there's too many I's, my's, and me's, you're focusing on the wrong person, okay?
Exactly.
So I started my career with regards to business experience. I had the opportunity, new business development. This is what I do. My focus always on the end process. I completed both my MBA. I'm currently, okay, so no one cares about this stuff.
Matt, if you want to read, delete. Right? I understand exactly where you're coming from. Yes.
So how you change this is the story that you tell, okay? You want to identify 3 problems that your ideal client faces and talk about those problems and show them how you can help solve them, okay? And then give a call to action and tell them what results they can expect to achieve and in what time frame. Okay? This is powerful here. This is what people read. If you get this right, you will automatically get more leads coming in. Then underneath here, we don't have any media. Okay? So let me give you an example of my one. right? So one of the things that you need to have is video testimonials at the bottom of your page, or case studies at the bottom of your page that people can read. And this is so powerful because now people don't come to you and say, well, what results can you help me get? They can go and see what results other people have gotten, okay? And the questions change. You know, instead of them saying, what results can you help me achieve? They start asking you, so I watched this testimonial. Can you help me do the same thing? That's when the magic happens.
Yeah, great. So Andre, how does that make you feel?
You know, Matt, this is actually, this is an unbelievable experience. Being exposed, when you say exposed, perhaps the technology changed, perhaps the things, and I truly believe with what you're saying. I think you opened my eyes this morning in that I did use LinkedIn incorrectly. And I realize it now because it's not the me. What can I offer? That's a total change in the way that you do it. So thanks for sharing this. This is great.
Yeah,
pleasure.
Yeah,
it's a humbling experience. Humbling, eh? Humbling.
Yeah. So, but if you're prepared to be humbled, then you learn something, eh? Sort of. So Linda, you've been listening to this exchange now, you know, sort of. So, what would be your comment on the best way for business advisors, specifically the 60 or so people that are in the room here today? How should they go about looking at this thing around their LinkedIn page?
Absolutely. I think what Matt has touched on, just by looking at the experience that we just had now, is that you need to also define what business you're in, and also be able to define what you are about, and also constantly speak of yourself as the third party, and yourself and your company included. Instead of saying I all the time, you rather say we. As the company, this is what we can produce, because it's you, your company, your stakeholders, and your brand as well that's communicating on social media, not just you as an individual. And also, I want to just highlight on that we are visual creatures. We want to see stuff that is visually entertaining. You want to have graphics that are bright. You want to have videos that are focused to what it is that you are doing. And, you know, also brand awareness. You know, there's never too much brand awareness that you can create around what it is that you are doing. And also send out information. And another thing I also want to highlight on LinkedIn is, even if you are not a paying client, but you are able to access information that is relevant to your industry. So for instance, if you are in HR, you're able to go into groups and you're able to be advised by experts within your industry. Even if you are not current, you're able to find current stuff. For instance, I'm in social media and digital marketing. There's a wealth of experience that's available, even though you're not yet a paying client. However, you do get extra perks. You know, you're able to send messages to people. You're able to start paying for your ads, which get a larger reach. But like Matt is also trying to show us, that you can do these activities without paying for them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so indeed. So, I mean, there are some questions that are being posted in the chat. I'll try to get to them. But before we do so, Matt, so there are questions here. Who are your clients? Who do you work with? How do we get part of your organization so that we can learn more about using LinkedIn? By the way, on the chat, a lot of people say, eye-opener, you know, sort of, I thought I used LinkedIn so well, and I've learned so much here today. So clearly we've hit on something that people needed to learn about. But so if they want to learn more, and maybe even apply your Rainmaker system, how do they go about in doing that?
Yeah, so pretty simple. We've got two options in how people can work with us going forward. Let me just share my screen here so you can see what's going on. One option, so option one is, you know, I always know that whenever we go into these things, there's two kinds of people. The one person is, give me everything, I want to do it now, I'm ready to go. Okay,
and I know this on the wrong slide, I think, Matt. So
I'm going to get there now. So one person is, give me everything, I'm ready to go now. And the other person is, well, I want to dip my toe in the water, do a little bit, and then move forward from there, which is absolutely okay. So we've got something for both of you guys. So the first one is I'm going to show you, for those of you who are ready to go right now and are just like absolutely excited and want to get going, I want to show you how you can just start becoming a LinkedIn Rainmaker. We've created an online course which has got video lessons and downloadable content, which is a do it as you go through it course. So you're actually implementing while you're going through the course. We've got group coaching and accountability. There's 2 sessions on that. So by the way, the values are, you can see the values on the side, 19,977. Group coaching and accountability. So you can learn from people and learn with us live. Okay, that's 9,994 value. Access to the private student group, so you can network and connect with other businesses that are killing it, that have gone through it. And by the way, I mean, this group, we've got over 200 or 300 people in the group. It's amazing for networking, and people all over the world are in there. Access to all the recorded coaching calls that we've done before. Access to my personal LinkedIn mails and funnels. So what we've done is we've made it really, really simple. You know, one of the biggest things I've seen is that most people don't know how to write copy. They don't know what messages to write. They don't know what to put out there. So I've taken everything that I've done over the past couple of years and templatized it all and made it available to you, that you can literally just go and edit and use that for yourself, for your own business, so that you don't need to be a copywriter or a technical expert. Then I've got a recording of me helping students refine their pickup line. So we had 40 people in a room live in all different kinds of industries, helping them get their pickup line right. So I'll give you access to that. The instant client finder, so you can find and connect with your ideal clients in under 10 minutes, right? Without going through a gatekeeper or paying for ads. Okay, that was from yesterday's. So the total value is 115,966. Well, I'll give you guys the same bonus as well. It's there. A ticket to our LinkedIn Rainmaker live implementation workshop. We've got a bunch that are running next year, so you can choose which one you want to come from. And I wanted to give you something really special. So we normally sell this for 9,997 Rand. I wanted to give you guys something really special for the Ibasa members. I mean, you guys have spent the time here, and Christoph was amazing to bring me on. So the special is 4,970 Rand, and that's for the next 4 days. Okay, so it's less than half of the regular price.
Is that working days, Matt?
Yeah, we're working days. Make the decision, jump on board, man. You're going to know if this is for you or not, right? Make the decision, jump on board, okay? So there's the link. I'll post it in the chat for you guys as well, so that you've got it. So that's if you want to jump in and you're like, I just know I'm all in, okay? And if some of you want to dip your toe in the water, that's absolutely okay. We can give you a taste. So here's option 2, is the 2-hour online group session. We'll show you how to build a LinkedIn profile that converts. We'll show you how to get laser focused on your ideal client, create your pickup line that'll attract your ideal clients, and how to turn your LinkedIn profile from an egocentric profile to a client-centric sales page. So literally all the things that we've gone through today, we'll just do a 2-hour group session where we'll help you work through all of that together. And the Ibasa special is 997 Rand for the next 4 days. So there's no VAT or anything on that either as well. So the price that you see is the price that you pay.
Great. So if you could just type in the chat there, Matt, how they can connect with you around those 2 options. So
perfect.
Dip your toe or jump in fully, you know, sort of other options there. Clearly, we all need to do something. So find more detail in the chat that Matt will post there. I'm sure there will be lots of interest. There are a few questions. We are running fast out of time, though. You know, sort of it is actually time for us to wrap up. But I just wanted to ask, maybe, Linda, you can answer Daphne's question about, she's a Shama, energy healer, psychic, clairvoyant, you know, sort of totally out of the what you would normally put as like a business advisor profession, you know, sort of. That's one question. Does it apply to any kind of way of linking up with people? And then also, I think those are Rick had a comment more about surveys, so we can leave that aside. And then Sipa Mandla's question was about connecting with you. So that's, you know, sort of the remaining question is what are the limitations in terms of how we can apply this across different industries and different professions. So maybe we can wrap up with that question and then leading into some other comments around wrapping things up. So let's start with you, Matt. Sort of, is it applicable to any industry, and what would your parting shot be on this? And then we'll come to Linda and go on to the IBASA organizational stuff after that. So Matt,
yeah, so I think the simplest response to that is it's always about solving problems. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you're a shaman or whether you're a coach. We've got guys who help people overcome porn addictions, right? And they've created massive results. It doesn't matter what you sell, what your widget is, whether it's a product or a service or what industry you're in. If you focus entirely on what problems do you solve, who is your ideal client and what problems can you solve for them, and what are the end results they can get and what time frame, it doesn't matter what you do. Okay, and this is applied across any platform. This is business, guys. All we're talking about here, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram or direct email, those are all tools to help you get your message out there. The biggest thing that you can get right, and the thing where everyone fails, is getting that message right. If you get your message right, you will increase your leads by 2 to 10 times almost immediately. Focus on that. Focus on getting one ideal client and solving the biggest problem that your ideal client faces. And you'll see it won't matter what country you're in, what you do, what you sell, what your product or service is. You'll be able to grow your business and reach your goals.
Great stuff. And Linda, what would your final comment be?
Absolutely. Hi, Daphne. Daphne's down in East London. I'm aware of her work, and like Matt was saying as well, it's more of how you tailor your content for your audience. As much as you're a clairvoyant, you are in the energy healing space. So that is what you need to communicate with your audience, and sort of like if you engage with them, and all of these platforms are just the basic marketing that we know, but it's just fueled because it's online. You're able to speak to your specific audience. It's basically fuel for your social media, which is this content. So it's very important that you're able to define what it is that you do and speak to your specific audience. So it is across, if you are in business and you're about making money and you need clients to come to you, social media platforms are the quickest way that you can communicate with your audience. And also, like I said, sometimes it's not always about only what it is that you do, but within your industry, creating awareness. For instance, Daphne is one of the only 3 shamans in South Africa. So you do communicate such, and in your content, you're able to just communicate such and just to highlight and inform people about your industry and what it is that you do.
Great stuff. So this is a lot to take in, but some very practical stuff. So if you applied yourself during this webinar, you already have 2 or 3 things that you're going to change on your LinkedIn profile. The one is, Andre, apart from the tips that we got, sort of to see your new status at IBASA too. But let's just pause for a moment. Carl, if I can bring in, if you can unmute yourself, sort of Carl is the producer of this webinar series, and he's gone to a lot of effort to bring this group of people together in the room. Carl, I see Matt is giving you applause. They don't show on the screen because you need to speak to see that. But thank you very much, Linda and Matt, for bringing us such richness to apply in our work and to get more customers, to link up with the right customers. I'll have a look at my page too. And then go back to the chat there if you're interested in linking up with Matt. There's real value for you to get there. Linda, if you want to type in your details, how people can connect with you too, please there. So if there are people that would like to make use of your services and helping them, then great. But Carl, if I can come back to you, so how easy was this to bring this group together, and kind of what was it worth it for you?
Hi, Christoph. Yes, thank you. Well, it was not that difficult. They were eager to share. So, I think being specialists in their field, it was also a great opportunity not only to hear them, but to see what they do in the way almost that they live what they preach. And I think that for me, if I look at this whole thing, what I've learned from this is, I think the concept of first the old principles of marketing communication applies. And then you take each channel, and you've got to understand each channel that you use and adapt your message to the target and the channel that you use. And LinkedIn is a very specific, specialized channel. And yeah, so I don't take the text and everything that I use for my TV ad and put it in the huisgenoot. So the same thing, I shouldn't do exactly. The core message must be the same, but the bottom line is I have to adapt my message to the channel and the platform that I'm communicating from. The basic marketing communication principles apply, and that's been confirmed to me today again. So I think a very practical and very useful webinar from my perspective. Thanks.
No, great. So maybe if you can give us a gallery view there, then we can kind of shift our attention over to Ibasa. So thanks again, Matt and Linda. Hope people can connect with you and get more business, position themselves to attract the right customers. Let me hand over to Lesego, or Lesego and Andre, but let's start with Lesego. So Lesego, you know, sort of there's some changes there in the office, things happening.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, many things are happening at Ibasa. As you know, we are definitely busy in the space of professionalizing business advising, and we're hard at it. We're passionate about our members being recognized, not only as a member-based organization, but in the field that they impact as well. So for us right now to discuss what our members probably experience every day, which is LinkedIn, social media, and to provide this platform that they can actually leverage on their businesses is just one of the things that we believe is a value add that all our members bring when they go to their clients. Overall, with us, as you well know, Ibasa was at the SABIC conference. For those who know what SABIC is about, it's the Business Incubation Conference that happens annually. And we were definitely there with great influence. Do look at our website. We have posted articles that have been taken out onto media coverage, such as Techpreneurs. So keep up to date as to what's happening. We have a wonderful article out as well that the chairman has actually written, where he's speaking about how business advisory and ESG is happening and how our members are active in that space and how we can improve it. So there's really been a lot that's been going on, but we're excited, and we can definitely tell our members that 2019 more is coming. Definitely more is coming. We are still at Ekurhuleni, so we've expanded our office to Ekurhuleni and based in Kempton. So we are definitely making sure that our presence is being felt not only in Pretoria, but Ekurhuleni as well. So come visit us in Kempton, and let's make sure that we make Ibasa work for everybody.
Great stuff. So from that event that you mentioned, what did you take from that? What did we learn that we can apply?
The event at SABIC, or which other event? We've had quite a couple. At SABIC, what we've learned is that
SABIC stands for SA
the
Business
South African Incubation Conference.
Okay.
Yes. So what we learned there is that our members in incubation, providing incubation support, we've influenced and added to the policy framework that is currently being tabled and discussed. As our members are aware, there are also some changes to ESD, such as the updated BEE codes for the Yes campaign. So do look out for that gazette that is now out since October 2018. So there's been quite a number of changes from a policy framework, from an ESD framework as well. But as well, Ibasa at the SABIC conference was able to join with another strategic partner, Growthville. So we have definitely been making some strategic moves that will assist our members. So look out for more information. Just for our members and the public, we'll also be featuring on Power FM tonight. So look out for our stakeholder executive, Joseph Chiwelewelo, as well as Hilton, speaking about business advising tools and making the ESG space work for everybody.
Okay, great. So can I ask you a favor to introduce Andre to the members that are online and other people that may be interested in that? Lesego?
Definitely. Yes, I'm excited. Our Ibasa family is growing. We have been joined by, as you know, Andre, Professor Andre to be exact, who is sitting as the Executive Director. And we're excited to introduce him to our members. He'll also be having most of the Q&As that we'd like our members to know more about him, not only from this LinkedIn profile that he shared with us, but he's here with us so that we can only get better. So we're excited. We've welcomed him officially from the start of December, and we look forward to having him every month going forward on our webinars. So it's going to be a good relationship, and we look forward to our members engaging more with him. Look out for a newsletter that's also going to come out, and definitely check our website as well.
Yeah. Great stuff. So just before I get to Andre, so thank you for that introduction, Lesego. So of course, as a membership organization, we should not forget to make sure that everyone that shows up here are indeed members or about to become members. So just as a reminder, and perhaps we can type in there the link in the chat too for people to follow, or Carl, if you can show us the slide with the details on. If someone wants to become a member or whose membership may have expired, what should they do? Lesego, I'm still with you, if you may.
Great. Definitely drop us an email at admin@ibasa.org.za, and as well as our website. You can download the online application form and actually apply online as well. And we'll definitely respond back to you with exactly what it takes to be a member of Ibasa. Join soon. Great things are coming. You don't want to stay and miss out on the great opportunities that Ibasa has been negotiating on behalf of their members. So join us. We're a wonderful family, and we're making a huge difference to South Africa. So be part of the change.
Yeah, and then you can put your membership on your LinkedIn profile too.
Definitely.
I see that Dahan has posted a question that's directed at Ibasa on the Q&A button. So, by the way, if there's anyone else that wants to post a question there, feel free to do so. It is the opportunity for us to answer those questions too. And I must say that if you're not a member, you should become one. We've got a really important job here in South Africa to work with those job creators and wealth creators in the small business and entrepreneurial space to help them in creating the growth that we need. So it is not just a kind of a sideshow that we're busy with. We've got a really important job. So become a member of Ibasa so that you can empower yourself to do that job better. That's kind of my piece of advice today. But Andre, so welcome. Thanks, Lesego, for the introduction.
Just Christoph, only doctor, hey, not prof. But to the members, I'll be Andre.
Yeah. So Andre, welcome in your position from all of us in the room here today. Can you just, I know you've only been there a few days, but can you give us a sense of what your tasks would be and, sort of how you would like to engage with members?
Christoph, it had been very, very interesting few days. The young people are going to keep me on my toes. If I listen to what Matt shared with us, there are so many things happening, so many things from outside, changes in the way that one have to think. And I think my focus will be operational. We've still got Joseph, who's going to look specifically on training, etc. So we will look at things where we can really share and make the life of, or change the life of our members moving forward. How can we add value to every single, not only the small member, when I say small member, but young entrepreneur to the older entrepreneurs, but that we will come up with new things that will impact their lives, that will simplify their lives, and that will really make Ibasa the institute of choice for any entrepreneur in the country. Matt, I enjoyed what you said this morning. I've got a strong belief that the I come from, or I had the opportunity to work international quite a bit. The entrepreneurs, South Africans are sought after jewels international. And I would love to see that we can take our people to really reach the market that they need to. And with those type of tools, you can.
Yeah, great stuff. So,
that is operational.
Yeah, sorry. Please continue.
Very much operational, and but to really add value to our members.
Great stuff. So, if I may put a bit of pressure on you, sort of, we expect a lot. Specifically around things like expanding our membership base, sort of. So if I can from our side kind of be opinionated around that I think we've got about 1,200 or so members. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think
can you help us? 1,200 around.
We have definitely grown. We're over the 1,000 rand mark.
Okay. About 1,000 people. But how many people are there in South Africa giving business advice? Way more than 1,000. So we can really become a powerful community by making sure that all our colleagues that are not IBASA members become members. And I see that was in fact Diane's question was around the turnaround and that process. So please go to that as we type in the, no, we haven't yet. So Lesego, maybe if I can ask you just to type in the email address that people need to go to in the chat to get the process going. If your membership have expired or if you are a new member, to join IBASA so that we can build this into what we deserve it, what it's deserving to be. And thanks, Andre, for setting the tone. We'll surely have you back, will we, in future webinars to speak about it?
I will be here. Trust me.
Yeah, and Lesego, we'll have you too. Hopefully we can get JMT in the room soon too. Stakeholder relationships, of course, is such a key area in this space. So together we see a whole team emerging here for IBASA, taking us into 2019 and beyond. Yeah.
No, definitely. Just for our members, we definitely look forward to a powerful 2019. We've been able to endorse some tools. We've been able to endorse Growth Wheel. We'll be out and about in the regions. We launched the Western Cape region. We've launched KZN. We've launched Gauteng. We are definitely gearing up to make sure that we impact members positively. And this month, look out for a newsletter that will also update you more on stakeholders. And we hope that next webinar topic will be as powerful as this one. And we look forward to you guys coming back and also sharing about the webinar that happens every single month. So do join us. It's worth the time.
Yeah. So it will be posted on the IBASA website for you to look up. There was some question or two in the chat around that. We also do a blog post on the webinar that gives a bit more detail on what was discussed and so on. And also all those links that we shared will go up in the next week. So you can refer back to that if you missed something during the webinar. But thanks again, everyone, for participating. Matt, Linda, Andre, Lesego, Carl, and then everyone that attended, sort of, we were over 50, close to 60 at one point in time, I think. Taking in and counting this as part of our CPD points. So don't forget that, IBASA members, record this as part of your CPD points. You need to do that to keep your designation, your standing as a business advisor. Needs some own education that you expose yourself to, and this counts to that too. So may I say, have a good Thursday afternoon, everyone, and see you in January. I think it's the 24th, or around the 24th, we'll send out the emails and details about that webinar that we're planning. Drive safely if you are driving during the holiday period, and rest and be rejuvenated next year so that we can go do our jobs in supporting our customers, the entrepreneurs and small businesses. And as I said earlier, sort of it's a serious job that we have in helping those guys to create the economic growth that we need. So great to have a good afternoon and see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Great. Thank you very much. All the best.